So understanding the 4 levels of leadership. Okay, so the first one is called I work. Okay, and I work simply means I do all the work for you. What does that mean? When somebody joins your business, whether they want tune free or whether they want to build the business, you're not telling them to go talk to their list. You're not telling them to go do all the work and call their people. You're getting their list from them and you're doing the work, right? When somebody joins and wants to launch the business or wants to get their tune free, we can't expect them to know how to present the business, how to explain Forex, how to answer all the questions, right? So it's as simple as somebody joins, give me your list, whether it's a list of 2, 20, 50, 100. Now they hand you the list and you're doing the work for them. You're contacting the people, you're going in there and you're closing, right? So that's the first level to understand and to do when somebody joins. Now, guess what? You have unlimited amount of leads and contacts. It's not just you going out, and we call it tap rooting as well, right? It's not just you going out and looking for leads, but you're tap rooting people's networks, right? To go out there and do the work for them and help them get their tune free and help them rank up. Now, here's the thing. When people join, right, not everybody is going to have the mindset, I'm all in, I'm going to launch, I'm going to do this. But when they see you working for them, it makes them step up their game. Like I had somebody, I had a guy join 2 days ago, and he got me connected with 3 people already. He gave me a list of 10, and he got me connected with 3 people. And then he messaged me, and I literally showed them the video, got on the phone with them, and closed one of the guys. And he's like, wow, this is awesome. He messaged me and said, wow, this is awesome, you know, that you're here to help me. So when people see that somebody else is willing to go to work for them, it steps their game up, right? So that's the first level is I work, okay? And once now they're there every step of the way. So they're putting you in a 3-way chat, and I'll go over the process in a little bit, and they see you doing the work. It's literally the same pitch over and over and over and over again, where now after you do it 20, 30, 40, 50 times, they're going to know how to do it. By that point, they rank up to Platinum 600 or tune free, and they're just chilling and they're happy. So the second level of leadership is we work, okay? And what that means is we work together. So you're doing presentations and calls together. Right? They're Platinum 150, Platinum 600. Now you're working together. You're there with them and you're helping them. They're on the calls. Maybe they're starting to do the pitches, but they're there. They see you do the work, they plug in, now they start doing the work. So that's the next layer or the next level of leadership on how to create somebody to be independent, essentially. Okay. The next level is I see work, which is letting him do it or letting them do it completely. And you're there observing, and you're there helping and criticizing, constructive criticism. What can you do better on the next call, so on and so forth. Criticize, I don't know how to spell that. Right, so now I see work. Now this is where they're a Platinum 600 and they're able to take their team's list and start contacting that list, and you're there criticizing them. And then the very, very last level is I see duplicate. This is where you hit Platinum 1000 and you become independent, right? We know that the formula, there's a formula to hit Platinum 1000. And when you hit Platinum 1000, you use that formula 7 to 10 times to hit chairman, right? So once you hit Platinum 1000, now you know the formula and you should be able to duplicate this process to your team to create Platinum 600s and Platinum 1000s. Now, I spoke to a couple of the P2000s and above yesterday, and talking about, you know, how are your P1000s? Are they independent yet? And so on and so forth. And Some said yes, some said no. So if you feel as if you're not an independent P1000, what we're going to do is have you mirror myself, Ray, Luke, Sam, Eric, doing this process over, and Justin, doing this process over and over again so that you can become independent. Because if you're not independent as a P1000, you're never going to be able to create a second, third, fourth, fifth layer of leadership where then you can rank up to P2000, 5000, and chairman, right? So this is kind of understanding where you're at and how to do it. Now, at I work, the person is dependent on you, right? They come in, they're dependent. They're literally just writing a list and giving it to you, and you're doing the work. The next one is independent. Where now they start becoming independent and they're able to do the process themselves. And then the last one is dependable. What dependable means is that other people are able to depend on them to duplicate that process. So everyone's goal is to become dependable where you can do that process, right? Where you're the P1000 that your team is putting you in a chat with to go out there and close people. So this is the exact process or formula you guys, that everybody uses, where you can see them rank up very, very quickly. Now, I've gone over this formula tons of times, but I'll go over it again. How to reach platinum 1,000 in 30 days. This is to launch somebody, right? When somebody wants to launch the business, this is what we use. So platinum 1,000, 1,000 a month, 30 customers. The formula to hit platinum 1,000 in 30 days is personally sponsor 10 to 12 people. Once you personally sponsor, or in order to personally sponsor 10 to 12 people, you need a list of 100 to 120. I call it the 10-3-1 rule. Every 10 people you talk to, 3 will be interested, 1 will join right away, the other 2 will come rolling in later, right? Therefore, if somebody needs to sponsor 10 to 12 people, that means that at a minimum, they need to have a list of 100 to 120 people. Right? So you personally sponsor 10 to 12 people. Out of those 10 to 12, 3 to 4 are going to want to build the business, be an IBO. What does that mean? Now you're getting their list. So you've gone through your list of 100 to 120 people. You've sponsored 10 to 12 at a minimum. Now you have 3 to 4 people's list to go through. And if they all have a list of 100, now you have 300 or 400 contacts to go through, right? And that's called tap routing. So you never run out of leads. 300 to 400, what's that going to do? At a minimum, to hit platinum 1,000, you're ranking 2 to platinum 600. Once you rank 2 to platinum 600, you're way past platinum 1,000. You're between 30 to 45 people. And you're a platinum 1,000. You have 2 platinum 600s and a couple platinum 150s. What does that mean? It's the same exact formula duplicated to hit chairman. So in order to hit chairman 10, all you're doing is creating 7 to 10 platinum 1,000s following the exact same process we just did, right? And by default, you'll have people that hit platinum 2,000, platinum 5,000 on their way to chairman, but the goal is to create platinum 1,000s, right? It's simple. It's not hard. So I just had a launch call a little while ago. We have a guy launching in South Africa. I just went over this formula with him. He's getting me his list of 100 and 120. Guess what I'm doing? I'm going through that list. He just joined the business. He doesn't know what he's doing. We go through that 100, 120 list of contacts. He's going to hit platinum 600. Now we find 3 to 4 IBOs to give us another list. where we have 300 or 400 contacts to go through that me and him are going to go through, right? So I did the work for him, helped him rank up. Now we work together to help 2 people on his team rank up, where I see the work, we're working together, and he hits Platinum 1000. Now I see Duplicate. He's done that exact formula, that exact process. Now he can go out there and duplicate how to reach Platinum 1000 to the next group of people, right? So if you're a Platinum 1000 right now, your goal is to create another Platinum 1000 using the formula that you use to achieve it. That's where your goal to chairman comes in. And by default, like I said, you will rank up to 2K, 5K, and so on. Does anybody have any questions? No? So the process that I use is simple, and Luke's been using this process for a while. What we were always doing, and you guys have heard of 3-way calls, is getting people on 3-way calls. But what I found to be even easier is 3-way chats. So some of you have been doing them with me today and yesterday. I'm literally flooded in 3-way chats, which is fine, but it's very, very simple. When somebody joins and they give me their list, right, I go through the list for them. So essentially, anyone that joins, their only goal is to pique interest. They're not presenting the plan. They're not doing any of that. They're not pitching. They're not answering questions. They pique interest. They do a 3-way chat. Okay? In the 3-way chat, they edify. So some of you have done this with me already a couple times that are on here. You edify me where I take over the conversation, right? So I'm not going out there and teaching, and this is what I realized that changed the game in my network marketing career, is I'm not going out there teaching people how to close, the psychology of closing, right? Somebody that's brand new, that joins the business, that's a Platinum 150. I'm not teaching all of them that. All I'm teaching them is how to edify, how to invite to a 3-way chat, and how to edify. By inviting, it's very, very simple. Once you pique interest, you invite. You give them value as to who you're getting. Hey, I'm going to introduce you to my mentor, Ray. He's a 6-figure earner. He has all the knowledge and information to help you get to the next level, or whatever their why is, right? Boom, 3-way chat. I edify Ray. I edify the prospect, and Ray takes over the entire conversation. Right? So your P1000s or P2000s or 5000s already know how to close, the psychology. They've had those breakthroughs, but why sit here and teach somebody brand new how to do all those things when you can do the work for them? Their only job is pique interest, invite, 3-way chat, edify me, I'll take over. Okay? Now, a lot of people ask me, what do you say when you're in a chat, right? Because if you're a P1000 and above, you should be able to do this for your team. And if you haven't been doing it, then you probably don't know, which is fine. So instead of me sitting here explaining how and what to say in a 3-way chat, I just want you guys to mirror. So like, for example, Patricia, you've already put me in a couple chats. Just watch what I say. Mirror what I'm saying. Watch. Once you see it 10, 20, 30 times, you're going to start to understand it where you're going to be doing it. Same thing for everybody else that doesn't know what to say, how to present, is simply attach on your P2000, start putting them in chats, and then start mirroring and watching exactly what it is that they're doing. Like Alexis just said, is become a copycat. So again, like I said, instead of me sitting here explaining what to say, just watch, just mirror, get in the chats, put us in chats. Don't try to close people by yourself, and see how it is that we do it. See it is that how we close somebody. And obviously not everybody's going to close. Like we said, it's a numbers game, 10-3-1, but you're seeing exactly what it is that we're saying, how we're presenting the video, how we're handling objections, and how we're closing somebody and then getting them started. Does anybody have any questions? Ray, you have anything to add to that?
Right now I don't.
Okay. Cool.
I will probably at the end, but right now I don't.
Okay, cool. So the last thing to understand is the leadership pyramid. And the leadership pyramid, you have an IBO. Okay, and just because somebody's an IBO doesn't mean they're a leader. So there's 3 types of IBOs. There's a potential player, which is somebody that has potential, but it's working with people because they deserve it, not because they need it. So when you identify a potential player, you identify them because they deserve your time and they deserve your training, not because they need it, right? That's very important to establish the difference. Otherwise, you will be dragging people with you and you'll be more motivated than that. 2 is a player. Okay? A player I can't type anymore. A player is somebody that has 10 plus personal signups a month on their own. That is a player in your business. Okay? They're able to present. They're able to launch. They're able to promote events. And they're able to close. That's what a player is here. 10 personal signups a month, present, launch, promote events, and close. Okay? The last one is a leader, which is a player with a team of players in their organization and has a team of 30 plus. Okay? So just because you have a team of 30 plus doesn't mean yet that you're a leader. The goal is to have players within your team that can go out and sign up 10 plus personals a month. Right? So another thing is identify where you're at. Are you a potential player? Are you signing up 10 plus people a month and you're a player? Are you able to present, launch, promote events, and close? If not, that's your goal. That's what you should be working on. Are you a leader? So you have a bunch of players on your team that can go out there, sign 10 a month, present, launch, and close themselves. Right? In order to hit chairman, you have to work your way to be a leader. And when I understood these 3 things, lists, how to taproot, how you do the work for people, and understanding the 4 levels of leadership, that's where everything takes off. That's where the average person gets their 2 and free, right? The goal is to get a lot of people to do a little bit of work instead of you doing all the work, right? Because if you're doing all the work, you're going to get burned out. You're not going to be able to do it forever, but you want to be able to create more use, right? You want to be able to have people that can do a 3-way call, that can do a 3-way chat, that can close. The only way for them to learn, and the easiest way, is to just have you do it and have them watch. Instead of teaching, go do this, go try this. Do it correctly. Once you know how to do it, have them watch, have them mirror you, and now they'll be able to do it and duplicate it. Anybody have any questions?
The list really, really helps. I mean, not only for myself, but, I've been working with my any team in person, and creating that list is, it's monumental because it not only gives you a sense of organization, but you have something to work on instead of like, oh, who do I talk to? I think that was the biggest jump which we had So if you have someone in your area that lives close, obviously you can do it through Zoom, but make that list, and then you can filter back through it. So like today, I hit my list of 480 people to hit my next rank, because I need 48 more orders. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna show them, my profits from, today or whatever for gold. So you filter them, you touch them, you share the video, you pique the interest. Then you come back to them in a few days, with some profits. They're like, okay, I'm not ready. You follow back up with them. And same thing with your guys' leaders. You create that list like, oh shit, this is really easy. They're doing it for me, right? So that belief goes up. They're like, oh, this person really cares for me. This person is really helping me too. Next thing you know, they see how easy it is. They're at P150. Or they're even at P600, like, this is all I have to do with my leaders. Man, Luke did it pretty simple for me. Next thing you know, I'm going to do it simple for Joe. And then Joe's going to do it simply through them. So you got to paint that picture in the beginning of like, oh, man, this is really easy, right? Boom. And that's what's going to really, really duplicate.
Yeah. And the goal, Luke, is I know you have a big list, but the goal is to also be able to have your P1000s be independent on their calls, and being able to help their teams with their lists as well.
Yeah.
And then the last thing is 7 levels in 7 days. This is something that I learned more recently. I was actually talking to one of the higher up chairmen. He talked about creating momentum and how to create momentum. And I said, what's your goal, what's your secret in momentum? And he said 7 levels in 7 days. Now that's also like a network marketing known term, is 7 levels in 7 days. So what does that mean? Is that you taproot 7 levels down in 7 days. So when somebody joins the business and they're launching, whether they have experience or not, you're going through their list. The goal is to get through 7 levels down, meaning that if Sam gives me a list, I go through Sam's list. Out of Sam's 100, I get 3 to 4 more lists. Then that's level 2. I go through those 3 to 4 people's lists. Then out of those 300 to 400 people, I get more lists. And then I go to level 3 and 4 and 5. So the goal is to get 7 levels deep in 7 days. So every single day, you're taprooting somebody else's list. And the network marketing myth, or I don't know what not a myth, is that you find your hitters 7 levels deep, or you find the person that's going to be the next big hitter on your team within levels. So a lot of the times when you talk to network marketers, they didn't necessarily sponsor, their P5000, their chairman 10 that's on their team, but they found them through somebody, and then now they're chairman, and all the people before fell off. Right? So, for example, you sign somebody up and you go through their list, then you go through the next person's list and next person's list, and you find somebody that's going to be the next chairman on your team. All those people previously may have fell off, may have never stuck through, but through those lists, you taprooted deep enough to find that next hitter. So the goal when you're launching is to get through 7 levels in 7 days. Taproot people, and that's where momentum hits into your business. So those of you, and I had a couple of you reach out, those of you that you feel like you're stuck at your rank, or you've been stuck at your rank, that's because you don't have players on your team. You have to create players on your team, and that's where you move into step 3, right? So if you don't have people on your team that can present, launch, promote events, and close, you'll be stuck at your rank. You can put in manual work, but you want to have people that can duplicate on your team. So that's definitely pouring people in. Now, what are the time frames on this? Going from I work to IC duplicate is anywhere between 30 to 90 days. This process right here takes anywhere between 30 to 90 days. Going from I work to IC duplicate. The goal should be 30 to 60, but it could take 30 to 90. So you're pouring your time into people that are going to be able to go to duplicate the process, right? But imagine, right, boom, you hit P1000. You create another P1000 that can now go do this process. Now it's you and that P1000 going to create a new P1000. So now there's 2 new P1000s being created, right? Those 2 new P1000s get created. Now there's 4 P1000s. So you have 4 P1000s going to create new P1000s, and that 4 turns into 8. Boom, you just hit chairman. Right? Now you have 8 P1000s on your team going out to duplicate. How to do that? Turns into 16 chairman, or close to chairman 25. Right? And that continues to duplicate and duplicate and duplicate. But if you're a P1000, you can't duplicate the process of being a P1000, you're going to be stuck out of rank, right? Or if you're P2 or P5 and there isn't P1000s that can do this process themselves, then it's all on you, right? Does anybody have any questions?
No.
Okay. The last thing I want to talk about is customers and retention, because that's a big part of the business. Growing the business is good, but it's also having customers that you're retaining. So what I used to do when I first started is I had a spreadsheet, and I heard somebody say a couple weeks ago to actually whiteboard it, and that's what I've been doing. So what I did was I went through all my personal customers and I wrote their names and I contacted them and asked them where they were at. So now I have everybody's names written and where they're at. Are they on demo? Are they on live? Are they using swipe trades? Are they trading by themselves? So let's say I have Alexis written down, for example. I have Alexis is on demo, right? And let's say I have Luke, and let's say Luke is on swipe trades. So now my next goal is to get each of those customers to the next level. So now if I have Alexis on demo, my goal is to get Alexis live. So I give her the steps to do for the next week to get her live. If Luke is on swipe trades, my next goal is to get Luke using the harmonic scanner. So now I give Luke the steps on what to do this week so that he can start mastering using the harmonic scanner. And when you give your personals that time, and you give your customers that time, just how are you doing, where are you at, okay, what's the next game plan to get you to the next level, to see results. Your ultimate goal to retain customers is to get them to see results. Right? So when we pop them in, some of them, they soar, they get in, they get involved. Some of them are overwhelmed and drop off. So by you giving them that time, that roadmap on a weekly basis, seeing where they're at, giving them the next step to go next is easy. And when you have it written out by name, and then you have your whole team written out by name, your retention goes up. So that's something that I've been doing. I highly suggest doing it. People are so thankful if you're not doing it already. Just for, hey, how are you doing? Just by that, people are like, oh my God, thank you so much. I know you're busy, blah, 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 right? And now, guess what happens with those customers? Those customers convert to IBOs as well once they have those results. Boom, 30 days in, I have a guy killing it. Hey, I want to build. Okay, send me your list. I want a list of 100. I want a list of 50. I give people a list, see their reaction, and give them a goal. Okay, in the next 24 hours, I need you to bring me a list of 50 people. Okay, we're going to start going through that list for you. So it's essentially taprooting and never running out of leads, because you're constantly getting people's lists and you're constantly doing the work for them until they can get to the duplication process. Does anybody have any questions? Is the list Facebook and phone numbers. A lot of the time when you get a list from people, it's their hot and warm market, which is good. And it's a little bit of a different pitch than somebody that's a cold market on the phone. And Patricia, you will learn that once we get to somebody that has a warm market. But yeah, it's phone numbers and names. Phone numbers, names, or Facebook. So depending on the age, like I have older, like 40-year-old gentleman he has a list of like 400 for me. We're going to call, phone number, call those, hey, this is Spilla, I know Jean, he wants to know your opinion on something, come to the event, right? Doing that process. Somebody that's a bit younger, like I have a new guy, he put me in with 2 of his cousins, I think his brother, something like that, and he's just throwing me in Facebook chats, and then I get him on the phone from there. Or sometimes I feel like I don't even need to get him on the phone, and I just close in a chat. So whatever it is a list of names, and from those names you work with that person to, is it a phone number, is it a Facebook chat, what's the best way to get in contact with that person. Now, some of you, right, have gone through your hot market, your warm market, have gone into and done, have been in network marketing for a while, have gone through your list and all that. I understand that. So you may personally not have a list anymore. So your goal is to go out there and taproot your team and your new members to get their lists, because now that gives you work and they're giving you the contacts, right? So this may, if you haven't been implementing this on your team, or if you haven't been using taprooting or anything like that, this may be hard to implement to current leaders and current IBOs. So you've got to be soft with it. Don't go in aggressive and I need your list now. They're going to be like, what the heck? We haven't done this yet, right? So slowly go in there and talk about it. For your new people, you should be implementing a list every time. I don't ask people, do you want to give me a list? I tell them, right? Just like I tell them to go through the academy. I tell them to use Swipe Trade, same thing. Hey, we're going to get your tune free. The number I usually give people is, hey, give me a list of about 20. And some people will give you more, some people will give you less. Whatever contacts you can get from them, you get from them, and say, hey, we're going to help you get your tune free so you don't have to worry about your membership next month, right? You make it a natural conversation. You're putting the idea in their head, just like you're putting the idea in their head on what to do in the Forex side. It's the same thing. Now, if they tell you, sorry, no, I don't want to do that, then that's fine. Don't force people. But a lot of the time, it's just a natural conversation and people do it. Right? So somebody new joins, or you have a leader that brings somebody in, reach in there, say, hey, can you introduce me to this person? Hey, okay, be there for them and teach your people. And the best way to teach them is by doing, not telling, so they can see the process over and over and over again. Anybody have questions? Did understanding this help anybody? Did anybody have an aha moment using this? When I learned this, I had a very big aha moment.
It's lit.
Yes, this was very helpful. Awesome. Do the work for your people. P1000s on here that can't do three-way calls or close themselves. Attach onto your P2000 or 5000 and be on every call, just listening, be in every chat, watching until you can do this, because when you become independent with this process, now you can start to create that next level of leadership on your team. Don't let it just be dependent on Luke and Justin and Ray and me and Eric, where we're doing all, we're the only ones that are doing it because we can only do so much. So definitely work on becoming independent, doing it. If you need help, again, reach out to us and we'll help you get a game plan to become independent with this, so that you can taproot people's lists and go from there. Ray, you have anything to add?
Everything you said was absolutely correct. It's very, very important that we all create those levels of leaderships, especially if you want to hit that next level. And everybody on this call definitely, is ready to hit chairman and, deserves to hit chairman. So we just have to do the things that count. That's going to take our business to that next level, because at the end of the day, we're only strong as our weakest link. So we have to, understand how to taproot, because that's going to allow you to continuously have, a point of contact with new customers with, the value that our team specifically provides. And just by duplicating these P1000s in our organization is really going to sell our business. And like I said, you all deserve to be chairman, so it's time to definitely make it happen. It's not going to happen overnight, but the little things is what's going to add up to the bigger picture. So being able to follow the system right here that's put together, let's do it, take it one day at a time, and let's just definitely kill it.
Awesome. And tonight, guys, is the IBO training at 9, part of our 5-hour work week. So I'm actually going to go through how to create a list and tell all your IBOs and P600s to send you that list. So some of you may be walking away with lists of hundreds tonight, where you'll have a lot of work to do going into that. So let's really promote that IBO call, that IBO training, where we'll kind of break this down on a little bit of a smaller scale, so that you guys will have lists and people to start contacting. I'm ready. I'm hungry. You guys are awesome. Let's go, Darius.
And just a heads up, we have David Iminitier yesterday, today, and tomorrow for Zoom Blitz. If you guys don't know. Yeah.
What time are those? 12, 3, and 6. Is that right?
I have a flyer. I'm not sure, honestly.
Hold on, let me pull the flyer. They're at 12, 3, and 6 Central. I'll drop the flyer in there. So let's just promote it. Yesterday's opportunity call was like 70-ish people, which is good. So you guys should be following up and closing on those, whoever you guys had on there. But let's utilize this blitz. It's easy and it's simple. And the biggest thing that, like I said, took me to a whole new level was, instead of sitting and teaching people again how to close, the psychology, go out there and teach them social media, and all those things are great, but it's easier if you just get the list, do the work for them, and then that part will come later. Does that make sense? Lists. Yeah. Patricia said chairman season like Alex. Patricia's copying Alex to be like Alex Morton.
Oh yes, I'm trying to make that.
Cool. Do you guys have anything else? I recorded this.